everyone! So I just got back home from the city, so I do have a little haul of a few volumes I picked up, as well as some pre-orders that I got in the mail. So starting with what I picked up at Barnes & Noble, I got 4 volumes of Haikyu, volumes 42, 43, 44, and 45. And 45 is the final volume of the series, so I did just get the last 4 volumes. And the reason why is because I just read the rest of this series on the Shonen Jump app, so I'm a big fan of the anime, and after I heard that the remaining 13 volumes after season 4 of the anime were going to be adapted into 2 movies, I wanted to read from there to the end so that I would know what the ending of the series is like after the content in the anime so far, especially because that's a lot of content to fit into 2 movies, so I expect a lot is going to be cut or kind of sped through, so I wanted to be able to read all of that. And this very last section of the series, these last 4 volumes, is my favorite part, so I do plan on collecting the rest of the series, but this is the section of the story that I liked the most, that I could see myself rereading up until I'm able to pick up the rest of the series. And I was just really excited to be able to pick them up in store and kind of inspect them and make sure I got good copies. And I'm really glad I was able to kind of check them in store, because a lot of the copies at the bookstore, the covers were like really scraped up, the spines were damaged, and I was actually carrying around a pile of volumes, and then I thought, I better just flip through just in case, and I was shocked. There was one volume that I was flipping through, and about every other page or every third page, one of the pages was just extremely faint, so one side would have regular printing, and then the other side would just be totally faded, where you could see it still, but it just was not to the standard that they probably wanted it to be. But I'm glad I noticed before I left the store with that volume, so I was able to switch it out for a copy that was printed regularly. I'm really glad I had already read these, because if I was going to get these to read the first time through, I wouldn't have flipped through, and then I would have gotten home and had a messed up volume. So really happy to have these ones. So this is the start of my Haikyu collection. I have already gotten some Haikyu prints, but as for the other 41 volumes, I'm not like in a hurry to get them, so I think I'm just going to kind of wait for a bit and see if they maybe will go on sale somewhere so that I can get them at a better deal, or if potentially in the future, if they release box sets or some different kind of omnibus edition or something, we'll see. But I knew that if I could get these 4 volumes, then I could be patient for a while. But this is all I picked up in person. I actually was planning to pick up a volume or 2 of Kaiju number 8, but unfortunately the copies that I was wanting to get were all kind of damaged with either big scratches across the cover or damage on the spines, so I just went with these ones for now. And moving on to my pre-orders, I have 3 books that arrived. 1 from Barnes & Noble and 2 from Books A Million. Okay, this first one is A Condition Called Love, Volume 1. So this is one that I'm really excited about. This is a series that Kodansha is publishing that has been digital only. So I have read through volume 11 already, and this is a series that I really like. It's a shoujo, high school romance that follows these two. I'm really excited to read this again. The first time I read it, I was not quite sucked in until I had read the first couple volumes because their relationship has a little bit of an odd start to it, and I thought his personality was a little suspicious. But as the story goes on, you find out about different things about their backstories and why they do the things they do and act the way they do, and now I really like this series. So Condition Called Love. And this is probably the series that I've been most excited to get as a new release since the start of the new year. The last couple months we've had a few new series start. Rainbow Days, In the Clear Moonlit Dusk, Yakuza Fiance, Subakucho Lonely Planet. So those have been ones that I've been really excited about. This is the first one for 2023 that I'm excited to start collecting and reading through. Okay, and then I have two more. I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I don't know. I struggle to open these types of packages. Like, I'm always worried I'm going to rip through the book. Okay, My Dress Up Darling, Volume 7. So I'm really excited to have this one. I think you can see I have volumes 1 to 6, and I recently read through all of these, so I'm really excited to get into volume 7. So this series is about a girl who likes to cosplay, and she meets a boy in the first volume who is a classmate of hers who knows how to sew, and so they form a friendship where they're both able to pursue their hobbies and the things that they're interested in, and they kind of encourage each other to keep doing the things they like without having to feel embarrassed about it. But I really like the characters in this series. It's super wholesome. It does have a parental advisory, explicit content for some fan service throughout the series. So keep that in mind if you're wanting to check out this series. And the last one. See, like, it was right up against the book. Okay, let's see if I can get it out. Okay, and the next one is Yakuza Fiance, Rise Watanaga-i, Volume 2. So this one is another seinen series. This one is seinen as well. And it's a drama series that follows two grandchildren of Yakuza groups. So the first volume started with their meeting and kind of initially getting to know each other. And I'm really excited to continue this one. So this is one that I have read into volume 6 or 7. And I have been keeping up with the newly released chapters. But I know she's not featured as much on this volume cover, but I really like the main girl in this series, Yoshino. And I believe it's in this volume that we get to meet another main character that will kind of join these two in all of the drama that is going to be unfolding. So this is all of the English manga that I've been getting lately. So my pre-orders from Books A Million and Barnes & Noble. And my Haikyu volumes that I just got from my shopping trip in the city. But I also got another package today when I was at the post office of some Japanese manga. and art books and prints that I recently ordered from Mercari Japan and Amazon Japan using the proxy service buy. So I'm really excited to get into that package next and to share what all I got in that one. So that's all for this one, and I'll see you again in another video. Thanks for watching.